Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Really means a lot to me. Look, tickets for SOS right now still. Save Our Sights Conference in March in Oklahoma City. If you're watching this in the future, don't worry. You're going to be able to see the replay of the entire panel that I'm actually hosting. So each of the SOS co-founders is hosting a particular panel, and I'm hosting the one on artificial intelligence. And we've got five excellent panel members, panelists on the board that are going to be discussing AI. And we did our panel prep yesterday. And it's all revolving around how research sites can use AI competitively today, not waiting for when AI is already ubiquitous and everybody's using some form of it, because then you don't have any more competitive advantage. There is a competitive advantage today, and there's a lot of things. There's probably 5 things we're going to be discussing, but quality management system is one of them for sure. 2 things you need to think about right now. Just like the urgent and important quadrant that I discussed in the past, breaking tasks down individually into what is urgent, what is important, and then how those 2 things relate. So whichever one is urgent and important at the same time gets prioritized, and then whatever is not urgent, not important, gets deprioritized. Same thing with AI and what tasks you as a research site can delegate to AI. But instead of urgent and important, it's risk and amount of work that it's putting a burden on the coordinator. So risk versus work. You want something that's low risk and a lot of burden for coordinators. So there's a couple of things. You may not be able to do all of them right away. There's tech vendors working on some of them. EDC, data entry, is a perfect example of a low risk yet pretty burdensome task for sites. One that I've played around with is source document creation. It's relatively low risk. All these tools, if you're using the paid version of these tools, OpenAI, Google, as far as the security is concerned, it's no different than emailing a protocol to somebody, right? That's technically risky too. Remember when email came out, people were freaking out about emailing proprietary information. It's no different now with AI. But I've already played around with this and with my coordinators as well. Creating source for a study used to take like 20 hours. You have to build out, deconstruct the protocol, break it down visit by visit, make sure the footnotes are captured. Now with these OpenAI, GPTs, whatever system you prefer, that becomes a couple of hours. They went from 20 hours to, let's say, 2 hours. And the AI does it quickly. The part that still takes 2 hours is having a human being or a team of coordinators going through it and verifying, is this all correct? AIs do hallucinate. They're not perfect. By the time they are, it's going to be a ubiquitous tool and you have no more competitive advantage. So that's one example of a low risk and highly burdensome task that reduces immediate coordinator time. Another one is, and I'm a partner with SelectIQ, pre-screening patients. And the SelectIQ is this AI that goes through your private practice's EMR, electronic medical records, and it looks at the protocols that you are recruiting for, and it pre-filters based on the inclusion-exclusion criteria parameters, which patients are likely to fit into a study or not. Another example of a low-risk, high workload burden for staff. And so you got to play around with these things yourself. You could get into things like quality assurance. You can get into things like creating recruitment flyers. I know one site, a panelist, has used it to help them write their SOP. Majority of sites are not doing this because they're afraid. They're waiting for permission, which I understand. When you're running a business, you're not going to be reckless with it. I'm definitely not advocating to be reckless. And by the way, I would check. Don't blame me for getting in trouble. Check with your business partners. Check with your legal teams. Make sure all that stuff's taken care of. But I've already messed around with it. I'm encouraging my staff to mess around with things using human supervision, of course. And these are the type of topics, these are the kind of things we're going to be discussing on this panel at Save Our Sites for Artificial Intelligence. Developing prompts. We're working on having an open source prompt, GPT prompt, for sites to be able to, depends on what they want to do, give me a prompt for a text message to a potential study participant. Give me a prompt for making this section of an SOP. Make me a prompt for creating a source document, visit by visit. Make me a prompt for making a pre-screening tool. We're going to work on having an open source, and when we have that actual panel replay on the channel, so make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share to my YouTube channel, we'll have the link to the open source SOP that we're inviting the community to contribute their prompts to the artificial intelligence and how to use artificial intelligence responsibly at your site. And so this is what I wanted to make the video on. Low risk, high workload burden. Find those quadrants. Obviously, if something's high risk and low workload burden, you don't want to mess with it. But if it's low risk, high workload burden, it's something AI can do. I've already started playing around with it. Lots more on this, but right now it's your competitive advantage. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know in the comments what I've missed or what you're working on. Bye-bye.